Hi again. So, this nameless, immense bat angel was flying down at the earth like a great black swan. It was definitely coming straight at the earth. It took several days to cover the distance. Then, for one awful night, its wings seemed to be filling most of the sky. The moon peered fearfully from low on the skyline, and all the people of Earth stayed up, gazing in fear at the huge black movement of wings that filled the night. Next morning it landed on Australia. Barump! The shock of its landing rolled round the earth like an earthquake, spilling teacups in London, jolting pictures off walls in California, cracking statues off their pedestals in Russia. The thing had actually landed, and it was a terrific dragon. Did you think it was going to be a dragon? I kind of thought it might have been a dragon. Terribly black, terribly scaly, terribly knobbly, terribly horned, terribly hairy, terribly clawed, terribly fanged. Woo! With one vast, indescribably terrible eye. Each one. No, vast, terribly Nanny's messed that bit up. He's terribly clawed and terribly fanged, with vast, indescribably terrible eyes, each one as big as Switzerland. There it sat, covering the whole of Australia. Covering the whole of Australia! Its tail trailing away over Tasmania into the sea. Its foreclaws on the headlands of the Gulf of Carpentaria. Don't know where that is, you'll have to look it up on a map. Luckily, the mountains and hills propped its belly up clear of the valleys, and the Australians could still move about in the pitch darkness under this new sky, this low, queer covering of scales. They crowded towards the lights that came in along its sides. Of course, whoever had been on a mountain top when the dragon landed had been squashed flat. Nothing could be done about them. And there the horror sat, glaring out over the countries of the world. What had it come for? What was going to happen to the world now this monstrosity had arrived? Everybody waited. The newspapers spoke about nothing else. Aircraft flew near this space bat angel dragon, taking photographs. It lay over Australia, higher than any mountains, higher than the Hindu Kush in Asia, and its head alone was the size of Italy. For a whole day, while the people of the earth trembled and wept and prayed to God to save them, the space bat dragon angel thing lay resting. Its chin sunk in the Indian Ocean, the sea coming not quite up to its bottom lip. My goodness, it must be huge. Can you imagine? So huge. I'm glad it didn't land on England, because it would have just covered us, swamped us completely. But the next morning early, its giant voice came rumbling around the world. The space bat angel dragon was speaking. It wanted to be fed. And what it wanted to eat was living things. People, animals, forests, it didn't care which, so long as the food was alive. Oh my goodness, but it had better be fed quickly, otherwise it would roll out its long tongue, its tongue that was longer than the Trans-Siberian Railway, and lick huge swathes of life off the surface of the earth. Cities, forests, farmlands, whatever there was, it would leave the world looking like a charred pebble unless it was fed, and fed quickly. Its voice shook and rumbled around the earth for a whole hour as it delivered its message. Finally it ended and lay waiting. The peoples of the world got together. If they fed it, how could they ever satisfy it? It would never be full. And every new day it would be as hungry as ever. How can you feed a beast the size of Australia? Australia is a vast land. All the countries in Europe will fit easily into Australia. The monster's stomach alone must be the size of Germany. So they could not feed it. The people of the world decided they would not feed this space bat angel dragon, or whatever it was. they would fight it. They would declare war on it and all get together to blast it off the face of the earth. And so it was that all the peoples of earth declared war on the monster and sent out their armed forces in a grand combined operation. Look, there's all the guns ready to go to war. Can you see? Oh, sorry, there. Can you see them all? Look, they've got wheels and they're firing. They look like paintbrushes, don't they? They're all going to war on the dragon. And I'm going to have to stop again because this chapter's a long one. I'll be back in a minute.